Welcome to day 3 of our Yin Yoga Series for Wellbeing. If this is your first time participating in this Yin Yoga Series, check out the comments down below for more details. And when you're ready, find a comfortable seated position. Give yourself enough space to settle in. The theme for our day 3 class is an open heart. Today is all about surrendering to love, accepting who we are unconditionally, and meeting ourselves with trust as we create the space to release ideas of fear, of doubt, and scarcity, making way for love, abundance, and joy. You might like to close the eyes, soften the gaze, begin to tune into the subtleties of the breath. You might like to state an affirmation, a word, a phrase of empowerment that you can return to if ever the mind begins to wander. Or perhaps offering yourself a moment to acknowledge and honor why it is you chose to show up today. Recognizing your courage and your strength. Offering yourself 3 loving breaths in this posture. Okay friends, from here we're going to transition into a kneeling position. Shins and inner thighs are touching, and from here we'll rest on our heels and come into a toe squat. So the toes are tucked, the feet are elevated. This is a beautiful way to stretch the underside of the feet. If this is uncomfortable, you're more than welcome to assume diamond pose or any position of your choice. From here, lowering the right ear to the right shoulder. Rolling the chin to the chest. Inhale, raise the head. 1 breath here. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Scooping the head forwards. Inhale, raise to center. This time lowering the left ear to the left shoulder, rolling the neck forwards. Inhale, center. 1 breath here. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Lowering the chin to the chest and returning to center. Well done. Keeping the feet as they are, interlacing the fingers together. Inhale, raise the arms skywards, palms facing towards the sky. Exhale, curl and round, flip the grip. And again, inhale, broaden across the heart space, gaze up. Exhale, curl and round. A few more times like this. Warming up the spinal column, stretching the shoulders, opening the chest. 1 more round of this variation of cat and cow. And returning the palms to the thighs. Inhale, raise the arms skywards. Exhale, lower the palms in front of the face. And from here, we will cactus the arms out wide, keeping the elbows at shoulder height. Exhale, curl and round, chin to chest. Inhale, open heart. Just like this. On your inhale, really depressing the shoulders, joining the shoulder blades together. Exhale, creating space along the back body. Mindfully keeping a slight engagement in the abdomen so that we are protecting the lower back. You might be beginning to feel a tremendous stretch around the feet, the Achilles. Be gentle. And we'll release the feet. Well done. It might feel nice to tap out the tops of the feet several times. And from here, we'll lower down onto our heels. Toes are pointed to the back of the mat, diamond pose. And we'll take a traditional seated cat-cow. Palms on the knees, inhale. Exhale, round the spine. Engage the core, spinal flexion. Inhale, extension. Just like this. Although we are centered around heart-opening postures today, the body is an interconnected network, so everything is related. You might also feel a lovely stretch around the neck, the shoulders, the upper back. Really allow yourself to experience the benefits of this practice fully, knowing that there's no need to label anything as good or bad. From here, we'll come into a tabletop position. Wrists are underneath shoulders, knees are hip-width distance apart. Hips are squared to the front of the mat, engaging the core. And we'll begin to walk the arms out in front, keeping them extended as we set up for heart melting pose or puppy pose in Hatha Yoga. You might like to keep the head level with the arms, perhaps lowering the forehead down onto the mat, keeping the spine in a neutral position. Or if it's in your practice and you have the mobility and the range of motion, you might like to lower your chin down onto the mat, coming into a spinal extension as we guide the belly down towards the thighs. Finding your variation. If this is too intense and you have props, you might like to place a bolster under your head, your chest. Be gentle. Noticing any sensations you might be feeling in the shoulders. Asking yourself, is it possible to soften? Where can I create space? Where can I let go? And in your own time, finding stillness. Using the breath as an anchor to stay here in the present moment. Offering yourself 2 more loving breaths in heart-melting posture. Mindfully, with intention, lowering your torso onto the mat, extending the legs as we set up for Sphinx pose. Toes are pointing towards the back of the mat, legs are in line with the hips, elbows can be underneath the shoulders, or for an easier variation, you might like to walk the arms out in front slightly, taking a little bit of extra pressure off the lower back. Allowing yourself to find stillness, using your palms, your forearms to support you, softening the muscles of the face, unclenching the jaw. Breathe. Offering yourself one more loving breath in Sphinx pose. And very slowly we will lower our chests down onto the earth, joining the big toes together, heels splay out towards the edges of the mat, placing one palm on top of the other and resting your forehead on your hands. Coming into Makarasana, crocodile pose. Finding a beautiful release for the lower back. Allowing yourself to breathe into this region of the body. Send your loving breath to any regions where you are feeling sensation. From here, we will come into a heart-opening shoulder stretch. You might like to cactus the right arm out, keeping the elbow at shoulder height, or extend the right arm. Placing the left palm on the earth, we're going to bend the right knee and place the right foot down behind the body. It might feel nice to rest the palm behind the back, really helping you to open the chest. Resting the side of your face on the earth. Feeling a deep stretch in the front of the shoulder, the pecs, the chest. Knowing that it's okay to use the first minute or so to take any adjustments, find that equilibrium, that neutral position that helps you relax. And when you're ready, beginning to soften, beginning to surrender, breathe. Taking one more loving breath in this heart opener, in this shoulder stretch. This might be the one breath where you can truly soften into the posture and know that that is okay. It's a practice. Keep trusting yourself. Mindfully releasing, if you had your left arm behind your back, returning it to the earth, rolling onto your tummy, placing both palms under the shoulders. I'm all set up to take this posture on the other side, this time cactusing the left arm out at shoulder height or extending the left arm as we use the right fingertips, the right palm to support us, guiding the right knee, the right foot behind the body, keeping the left leg extended, allowing yourself to relax completely. Noticing what's going on in and around the heart space. Are there emotions stagnating here? If so, imagine that you can release them. You can let them go with every exhalation, reconnecting with your inner harmony. Breathe. Offering yourself one more loving breath in this posture. Giving yourself permission to relax, to find ease. Know that you are safe. Mindfully returning the right palm under the shoulder and gently guiding the torso, the belly onto the mat. And we'll again find crocodile pose. Reconnecting to the breath, finding a beautiful release in the lower back. Taking one more mindful breath in this posture. From here, we're going to set up for camel pose. This is a very intense heart opener, so if this is too much for you, you're more than welcome to rest in child's pose, supine butterfly, anything that feels nourishing. And if you're joining us, we'll come onto our shins, kneeling, knees a hip width distance apart, maybe tucking the toes under or keeping the toes pointed to the back of the mat, finding length through the vertebral column. From here, placing the palms on the sacral region of the spine, fingertips facing towards the earth, engaging the core muscles. Begin to push the pelvis forwards as you lift up through the thoracic region of the spine, rolling the shoulder blades back, broadening across the heart space. Inhale, return to center. So this is a supported variation which can be more intense as we are doing a longer held posture. If you'd like to come into the full expression, we'll raise one arm skywards at a time and lower it down onto the corresponding heel. Really being mindful to keep the pelvis aligned with the knees. If it's in your practice, you might like to extend your neck back, relaxing the head completely. Using your arms for support to help you create space in the back, to help you broaden the heart space. To surrender. If you notice the breath shallowing or any restrictions in your capacity to be here and find stillness, perhaps it's an invitation to adopt a more gentle variation or change the posture altogether. And if you feel comfortable here, settling in, we'll be here in camel pose for about 2 minutes. Affording yourself one more loving breath in camel pose. And slowly raising the head, returning one palm at a time to the lower back. Gently lowering the sits bones down onto the earth. Resting the palms on the thighs. Taking one breath in diamond pose. And from here, lowering the torso down to the thighs. Maybe resting the forehead down on the mat, coming into child's pose. It might feel nice to extend the arms the length of the body, having the palms facing skywards near the region of the feet. Alternatively, you can extend the arms out in front, keeping the thighs together or separating them. It's entirely up to you. Honor your own unique experience. Listen to your inner guidance system. Reconnecting to the breath, guiding your awareness to this present moment, and gently returning the palms to the earth, using core strength and arm strength to unroll the spine. Return to a seated position, pausing here for as long as you like. And if you'd like to join us, we'll next set up for a full saddle. Keeping the thighs, the knees connected, we'll scoop out the fleshy portion of the calf muscles, lowering the sits bones down between the feet. Toes are pointed to the back of the mat. You might like to place your palms underneath your shoulders behind you, staying upright, broadening across the heart space. Playing around with the positioning of the fingers to really support the wrists here. And if you feel comfortable, you might choose to lower down onto the forearms, keeping the elbows underneath the shoulders, perhaps gazing the head back, relaxing the neck entirely if that's okay for you. And a third variation is to lower the back down onto the earth completely, using your feet to support you, maybe extending the arms overhead, cactusing the arms out wide, or interlacing the fingers around opposite elbow. Depending on your mobility and flexibility, this can be quite an intense back bend for the lumbar and sacral region of the spine. So really be gentle. Breathe into any regions where you are feeling sensation. Allow yourself to soften. mindfully guiding your awareness to the breath, affording yourself another opportunity to surrender in this saddle pose. If you are on your back, placing your palms on your feet, helping you to return upright to a seated position. Taking any organic movement that feels right for you. It might feel nice to extend the legs out in front, find some circular movements with the feet, the ankles. From here, bending the knees, keeping the soles of the feet on the earth, knees are hip-width distance apart, placing the palms on the shins. Exhale, curl and round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, lengthen, spinal extension, gaze up. Twice more. Using core strength to support you here. Ensuring that you have enough space behind you, you might like to scoot forwards on your mat slightly. We'll begin to roll down one vertebra at a time, lowering the back onto the earth, bringing the heels closer to the glutes, noticing the breath, maybe staying here, or you might like to come into a bridge pose. Inhale, raising the hips, the lower back, the mid-back. Gently lowering down with control. And again, finding a beautiful release for the hip flexors. A slight engagement of the inner thighs and the glutes. And mindfully lowering the back down onto the earth. A few more times. Really allowing the shoulders to relax so that this is a heart-opening posture. Notice if you've tucked your chin towards your neck. Is it possible to create a little bit more space in this region? And from here, we'll stay upright in a bridge. If it's possible, interlacing your fingers together behind your back, keeping the arms extended. Drawing the shoulder blades, the shoulders closer towards one another so that we can open the heart, so that we can release any unwanted emotions. Raise the hips a little higher. We'll be here for a few breaths. If your arms were in the bind, mindfully extending the arms on either side of the torso and beginning to lower the back down one vertebra at a time. From here, allowing the knees to knock against one another, heel-toeing the feet out towards the edge of the mat, placing one palm on the belly, the other on the heart space. Again, finding a beautiful release for the lower back. Breathe. From here, drawing the knees to the chest. Perhaps creating some circles with the knees, finding any organic movement that feels nourishing and restorative for you. That might mean rolling side to side, massaging the lower back. And in your own time, extending the legs, the limbs as we set up for Shavasana, final relaxation. Noticing the body, noticing your connection to the mat, to the earth beneath you. Observing any regions where you are still holding tension. What might it be like to soften? Perhaps there is no tension. If you feel completely relaxed, know that that is okay as well. And for the next few moments, as we rest in stillness, use the breath as an anchor. Use the breath as a loving, guiding force to attune you to your natural equilibrium, to your natural state of peace and well-being. If the mind had begun to wander, gently guiding your awareness to the breath, I invite you to pause the video here, staying in Shavasana for as long as you like. And when you're ready, taking one more loving breath, opening your heart, opening your soul, and beginning to reanimate the body, inviting some gentle movement into the fingers, the toes, perhaps rolling the neck from side to side, extending the arms overhead, and when you're ready, rolling over to the left, coming into a fetal position. Keeping the eyes closed, we'll mindfully work our way upright to a seated position. Roll the shoulders back, lengthen the spine. Perhaps placing one palm on the belly, the other on the heart space. You might like to reaffirm your word of empowerment, your affirmation, reminding yourself of why you chose to show up today, honoring and recognizing the courage and the strength that you demonstrated here in this practice, holding space to be with yourself as you are, loving yourself unconditionally, On your next inhale, extending the arms skywards, joining the palms together. Exhale, lower the palms to heart center. Thank you all so much for joining this heart-opening Yin Yoga series. I hope you are feeling nourished, peaceful, and joyful. Namaste.